Budgeting. Okay, to set a new budget, make sure you're in the Accounts view and click on the Budgeting tab. To add a new budget, and you can have as many budgets as you like, click on the Create a New Budget button. Name the budget. I'm just going to use the year here. I'm going to say this budget set 1st of January. And I click on Create. Each row in the budget represents the accounts on the left hand side. So the more accounts you open, the more refined the budget can be. You can, for example, set very general budgets. For example, on the income, supposing your income was 25,000 for the year. By default, it has now split that across each month. If we click on that row that we've just entered, click on the percent button, we can actually adjust those figures like this. You can also go into individual months and edit it if you know that it'll be slightly more or slightly less. So let's change that. So there's lots of ways of doing this. Now if we open up that income group here, we could actually refine this further. Supposing our salary is 20,000. First thing you'll notice is that our income is now red. This is because we've adjusted the more finely granular level. Now we can correct the red one by selecting it, clicking on the tick button. That will now reflect the contents. So supposing that you know during the year you receive £200 interest, and you know that it's quite likely you receive another £200, maybe in gifts. As you can see, you can average that out over the year. On the other hand, your birthday may be in March, and you know on average people send you £150. And you also know that in January you get nothing. So you have complete control over how you set your budgets. You could do the same here with expenses. Supposing you know that your overall expenses were 20,000. You've now set that. Now if you look at the group that contains expenses and income, it's called revenue by default, you will see that we have a surplus of £516 a year. What's interesting about budgets is the way that you can specify the amount for each month. So for example, for holidays, we can say that we will budget for July £2,000. And that's it. You don't have to put anything in any other row, you can just put it in there. You'll see that our expenses now has slightly changed because we've set a more finely grained expense here. So select the red line, click on the tick box, and it'll adjust that according to what you've done here. So if you want to get down to a very fine grain, if you've got 2,000 on holidays and you spend 3,000 on food and whatever, do that at the lower level here and leave the large groups to be auto-calculated themselves. Okay, once you've set a budget, and incidentally one other button here you should know about is control whether the pence values are displayed. If you just want to see the overall pounds, click that button there, and then you just get the pounds. That's maybe easier to do. Once you've set a budget, click on the period overview. This now compares your budget with what you've actually spent, and it also shows you a look ahead. This is covered in the automated entries section, as standing orders and direct debits and other automated entries will affect your future balances. You can have more than one budget, and you can see the point of it now. This budget has been set for 2010. We can have another budget which we set for next year, 2011. This way you can compare previous years